member's time has expired. The question is that the motion be agreed to. I call the member for Solomon.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I'm very pleased to be speaking on this important motion today. I commend the member for Fowler for moving this motion. He's a good man. I note the contributions made by previous speakers, who have all acknowledged the significant role that police, supported by their families and mates, make to our local communities and the high degree of risk and personal sacrifice that comes with carrying out their duty. I was talking with some Afghanistan veterans recently about awareness raising around the issue of PTSD. And I said to them I wanted to include emergency services and police officers in some of that awareness raising work. And one of these combat veterans said, bloody oath, they are on the tools dealing with stuff every day. So it's a policeman that he's talking about. Now, policing is difficult and the environments are often complex and dangerous. Often there are near misses, sometimes there are injuries, and sometimes officers are killed. As the opening quote from our Darwin Police Remembrance Day booklet reminded us, greater love hath no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. National Police Remembrance Day is held on September the 29th, as this is the feast day of St Michael, the Archangel and patron saint of police. Interestingly, St Michael is considered a defender of good against evil by all three of the great monotheistic religions of the world, Christianity, Judaism and Islam, and all three faiths hold St Michael in great esteem. Police are not the only ones who are said to have St Michael's patronage, as he also watches over grocers, mariners and paratroopers. I had forgotten this, but then I remembered that a mate of mine at the 3rd Battalion always jumped with a St Michael necklace around his neck for protection. I'm pretty sure it always worked. Now, St Michael is also the patron of hat makers, Papua New Guinea emergency medical technicians, radiologists, ambulance drivers and bakers. Deputy Speaker, in my electorate of Solomon, we commemorated National Police Remembrance Day at a humbling service at my parish, St Mary's Star of the Sea Cathedral in Smith Street, Darwin. Alongside serving and retired police, military personnel and their beloved family and friends, I was moved by a very powerful homily by the Bishop of the NT, the Very Reverend Eugene Hurley. Bishop Hurley spoke about his pride that, generally speaking, we as people can tell right from wrong, and we try our best to act on the highest good. But sadly, and often tragically, this is not always the case. Bishop Hurley highlighted that police hold great positions of trust within society and communities and as the keepers of peace and maintainers of order, but expressed that this should never replace the responsibility of the individual to do the right thing of their own volition, particularly to act in good faith to maintain peace and respectful relationships within families. This year's service was also poignant as Curtis Cheng's name was added to the National Memorial as a result of his tragic death that occurred during his service for the New South Wales Police last year. Deputy Speaker, as you know, it is important that we politicians be measured in our debate in this place. I would like it recorded in the Hansard that Curtis Cheng's son, Alpha Cheng, who is a teacher here in Canberra, has recently used an open letter to call on Senator Hanson to stop linking his father's death and the Sydney Lint Cafe siege to comments about the Muslim community that promote fear and exclusion within the community. I believe our police forces have a good culture of promoting multiculturalism and tolerance, and this should be commended and continued. I also believe making such connections for base political purposes actually makes the job of officers working in those communities much more difficult. I personally know so many good police officers. They are stand-up people. I want to particularly acknowledge some of the Territory's officers, including Sean Parnell, for his decades of solid work and his assistance with this statement, and my friend Jeff Barnett, as well as Paul McHugh from the Police Association for his work to achieve better conditions for officers and his provision of policy advice to government that will assist with the conduct of safer and more successful community policing. Also, I want to acknowledge the NT chapter of Police Legacy. They do a great job supporting the families. As we've heard, 9 police officers from Australia, New Zealand and the South West Pacific are known to have passed away in the last 12 months. I just want to pass on my respect and gratitude to their families. May they all rest in peace and with honour.
The member's time has expired. The question